all the April showers have already brought us May flowers. And I think that this beautiful May weather is going to bring us a lot of fresh fruit and veggies so we can sail into summer eating.
Hi, I'm Marco Ayala, and I'm here to share another recipe with all of you. I am so ready to sail into the summer because, well, the temperatures are rising and I just can't wait to be able to get out there, enjoy the beautiful weather, and most importantly, enjoy Lake Champlain. And a big aspect of that is food. Summer eating, it also represents eating fresh. So I want to start with corn. I think that Vermont corn is so sweet. However, that will come later in the season. But that doesn't mean that we cannot get ahead and start with some loaded, cheesy corn bites. And yes, this is as good as it sounds because it's a recipe that combines the best parts about a corn muffin and a loaded potato. So if you're curious about how to make them, stay with me so we can make them together. First, you're gonna set a skillet to medium-high heat, and you're gonna cook 6 ounces bacon until it's nice and crispy. Once your bacon is perfectly cooked, you're gonna set it on a rack and let the excess oil drip. Meanwhile, to a large bowl, you're gonna add an egg, and you're gonna whisk it until it becomes a pale yellow color. Then, to your whisked egg, you're gonna add 1/3 cup sour cream, 1/4 cup melted butter, 1 8-ounce canned creamed corn, 1 8.5 ounce corn muffin mix. And you're gonna mix it well until it's nicely combined. Then you're gonna add 1/2 cup corn kernels, 1/2 cup Vermont shredded cheddar cheese, 2 scallions, or in this case, I am adding 1/3 cup shallots. And finally, you're gonna add your crumbled bacon and mix it well. Now for the baking, it's going to be up to you whether you want to use a 24 muffin tin so you can get loaded cheesy bites that are smaller and more like an appetizer. In this case, I wanted more of a corn muffin, so I wanted a bigger one, so I use a 12 muffin tin. So it's really up to you. Just make sure to grease it well, then divide all the batter equally among all the tins. And you're gonna bake it at 350 degrees for about 25 to 30 minutes. And once they come out of the oven, they look amazing. And as you can see, let's open one up here. The ingredients look so good. And hey, it's a triple threat because you're using the corn muffin mix, you're using the corn kernels, and you're using the creamed corn. So it is loaded with flavor. And you know how I like to serve them? At the end, I just put a dollop there of sour cream. I think that this is a perfect side dish for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, and it's probably going to go on your regular rotation because it's so good. So I hope you try it at home because it's delicious. Okay, so now let's move on to our next recipe. The other thing that I love about summer and spring in Vermont is the fact that we finally get to use fresh fruits and veggies. And you guys have heard me talk so much about strawberries because strawberries are one of my favorite fruit. So let's put those strawberries to good use in this strawberry jalapeno chicken. This recipe is absolutely bursting with flavor because there is a lot of elements in here. So if you want to learn how to make this strawberry jalapeno chicken, stay with me so we can try it together. First, you're gonna take 4 boneless, skinless chicken breasts. You're gonna trim the extra fat, and with a paper towel, you're gonna pat your chicken dry. Season it on both sides with salt and pepper. And you're gonna add it to a large skillet over medium-high heat with 1 tablespoon oil. Cook your chicken, turning occasionally until it's golden brown. Once your chicken is perfectly cooked, you're gonna transfer it to a plate and you're gonna let it rest. Then, to a small bowl, you're gonna add about 2 tablespoons chopped fresh cilantro, 1 cup chopped strawberries, and 1/3 cup jalapenos. You're gonna need about 2 jalapeno peppers. Now, it is important that when you're cutting your jalapenos, you're gonna make sure to remove all the seeds that are inside because that's where most of the heat resides. You can reduce the amount of jalapeno to just the 1 jalapeno because, as I always say, you can always customize these recipes to what your family likes best. Then you're gonna take 2 shallots, finely chop them, and you're gonna add them to your bowl. Finally, you're gonna add 2 tablespoons balsamic vinegar and half a teaspoon salt. And you're gonna reserve 1 cup of your strawberry salsa. Then you're gonna roughly chop 1.5 to 2 shallots, and you're gonna add them to the skillet where you were cooking your chicken. Once the shallots are tender and slightly translucent, you're gonna add 1 cup chopped strawberries and the remainder of your strawberry salsa. Let it cook covered over medium heat, stirring occasionally until the strawberries start breaking down. While your sauce is cooking, to a dish you're gonna add 1 chipotle chili and 1 tablespoon of the adobo sauce, 2 tablespoons barbecue sauce, and 3 tablespoons maple syrup. Then you're gonna add your chipotle sauce, 1 cup water, and you're gonna let it cook covered until your strawberries are completely broken down. Then you're gonna bring back your chicken into the skillet until your chicken is completely heated through. And as you can see, the sauce is just absolutely luscious and delicious. Now, you're probably asking, Marco, what happened with the reserved salsa that you put aside? Well, here it is. And what we're gonna do is, before serving, we're going to top it with some of that fresh salsa. Honestly, I think that this is a recipe that works great for the summer, for any time of the year. I think that the family is really going to enjoy it. And well, let's start a little plate here where we're going to put some chicken with the salsa. Doesn't that look great? And then we add a little corn muffin and you have a really nice meal. Now, let's move on to our last recipe, which is going to be a dessert. One of my favorite summer drinks is pink lemonade. I just love that little hint of strawberry in my lemonade. And plus, it's such a nice color. And that was the inspiration behind my last recipe, because we are making a strawberry lemonade pie. And look at this pie. Doesn't it look absolutely beautiful and amazing? Look how tall it is. There's a ton of cream in there, and this cream is luscious, it's velvety, and it's delicious. However, there is a surprise to this pie. And you know what the surprise is? Let me come here to the fridge. The surprise is that it makes 2 pies. So look at that. 1 recipe and you get 2 pies. Either for a potluck, either for sharing with a family, to bring to a neighbor, to bring to a friend. I mean, who doesn't want an extra pie? So let me tell you how to make these pies, because it's so easy and it requires very little effort. First, to a very large bowl, you're gonna add 2 cans sweetened condensed milk, 1 12-ounce container frozen lemonade concentrate. Whisk the ingredients together. Next, very carefully, you're gonna add 3 8-ounce containers frozen whipped topping that has been thawed. And you're going to very carefully fold it and incorporate it together. Now, the actual reason why you get 2 pies out of this recipe It's because of the proportions. And back when this recipe was developed, because it's an old-fashioned recipe, well, the containers of whipped topping used to be bigger. Now, over the years, the containers have gotten a little smaller. So in order to have enough ingredients to make this really tall pie, you will need about one container and a half. So it's much easier to just double everything up, and then you get 2 pies out of it. Once the whipped topping and the condensed milk mixture are well incorporated, you're gonna add 1 20-ounce can strawberry pie filling. And you're gonna carefully fold it in because you don't want your whipped topping to completely collapse. Once the strawberry pie filling is well combined, you're gonna divide the pie filling evenly between 2 9-inch prepared graham cracker crusts. And that is it. Just like that, you have a beautifully tall pie that you can either just refrigerate for 4 hours so it's nicely set, or you can also freeze it. So I hope you really try this, because you know how long it took me? I was done with this in about, I will say probably 15 to 20 minutes. So you can spend more time with your family than in the kitchen. Now, so I hope you give all these recipes a try, because they're delicious. And how can you get the recipes? Well, all you need to do is go to the UVM Extension website that you can see on your screen right now, and head on over to the Across the Fence section, where you can find these recipes and many other recipes that we have made over the years. And remember that you can also connect with Across the Fence on social media. So make sure to follow us on Instagram, make sure to like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, because you can get all the incredible content of Across the Fence delivered right to your phone or your computer. So on that note, all that is left for me to say is Happy Mother's Day, that is happening this Sunday. So I think this is actually a great dessert that you can make for mom, or any of these recipes. I think that she will really enjoy it. In the meantime, I'm gonna try this loaded corn bite. This is delicious. Happy cooking, and cheers to Mother's Day.